In yet another sign that the radical left is taking over the Democratic Party, a new report says that squad member Congresswoman AOC is now mulling a bid for Senate or for president in 2028. Joining us with reaction, Project 21 Chairman Horace Cooper and Fox News contributor Kaylee McGee White. So great to see you both tonight. Kaylee, are Republicans, is it dangerous for Republicans to dismiss AOC so quickly?
I don't think that we should underestimate her, Charlie. And I say this as a Gen Zer who knows firsthand just how big of an appeal she has on social media, especially among young adults. And several other Democrats have the similar appeal. You just look at what's happening in New York City right now with Mamdani, who similarly has built the foundation of his campaign on social media. And it's working. And it will work for AOC as well, especially in certain blue parts of the country. And beyond her online following, there's also the fact that her politics and the ideology she represents, they're no longer the fringe in the Democratic Party, Charlie. In fact, they're the mainstream. Today provided an excellent example of this. AOC got up on the House floor and began deliberately and maliciously smearing Charlie Kirk and his legacy. And you know what her Democratic colleagues did? 96 Democrats either voted against or as present for a resolution condemning his political assassination. They agree with her, Charlie, even if they're not willing to say so out loud. So we need to stop treating her as the outlier of the Democratic Party and realize that she actually is the perfect representation of what this party has become, which is completely out of touch, dishonest, and radical.
Horace, I think that Kaylee makes a very important point there. In every way that you can measure, it appears that AOC is in charge of this party.
Well, the real observation that I would have is that there is no leadership in this party, and they need to call a political oncologist very, very quickly because the radical metastasis has set in, and it's rapidly spreading. Even after beclowning herself with her comments about Charlie Kirk, her fellow members, many of them sided with her rather than logic, reason, and just basic good form. The cancer that is taking over the world's oldest political party is very, very likely going to lead not to Gavin Newsom, but to AOC and her radical fringe ideas taking over the party and getting the nomination.
And, Kaylee, I would think that making matters even worse for Democrats is the fact that there were still more Democrats who voted in favor, talking about the Charlie Kirk resolution, more Democrats voted in favor of the resolution than sided with AOC, which not only are they going off with the crazy train, but they're also really deeply divided.
They are, and that's the one big benefit for Republicans as AOC pursues a bigger national profile. I mean, the fact is, every time she opens her mouth, a new Republican is created. And I don't think that Democrats realize what has happened, especially over the past week or so. They are isolating themselves from everyone in this country with common sense. This began back in the 2024 election cycle, and it has cemented itself this past week with Charlie Kirk's assassination. The fact of the matter is, when you have people like AOC get up on the House floor and smear Charlie Kirk as a racist, as a sexist, as you name it, et cetera, the average American is then going back and they're watching Charlie's debates. They're looking at his show. They're watching his videos. And they're realizing that he was none of those things at all. In fact, they share many of his views. So what does that say about AOC and what she might think of them as well?
Horace, putting on your political prognosticating hat, do you think that AOC is running for president, or do you think she is running to pick off Chuck Schumer the way she picked off Joe Crowley, who, let's not forget, was the #3 Democrat in the House of Representatives when she picked him off?
When the Democrats lose ground in the midterm elections, the appeal of serving in the Senate will not be so attractive. Of course she's going to want to lead. When I was a kid, Democrats hid their far left and radical ideas, and they lied, and they pretended they were just like you and I. Now they tell the truth. And guess who's the biggest truth teller? AOC.
Indeed. Kaylee, do you think that do you think she's running for president, or do you think she's running to pick off Chuck Schumer?
Depends on whether she wants to win. I think she could win New York Senate pretty easily. Don't think that she's going to win the White House anytime soon.
Very good. Horace, Kaylee, thank you both for joining us.